So what's been going on between then and now? Besides all these seltzers coming out and just saturating the market for shitty alcohol.
I don't drink that shit. I mean, more power to you guys, but like that's just not my MO.
It's got that aspartame, man.
It helps me stay sober because I don't want to drink them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is like juice. I don't know why I'm drinking it. I hate juice.
How do you hate juice?
I don't know. I just don't like
all juices.
I don't like orange juice. Well, I like watermelon juice.
What the fuck?
It's a little milder.
Where do you get watermelon juice?
That's not a real juice.
They have simply watermelon juice. I guarantee. Try it. You're gonna love it.
Do I have to go to like a Mexican market for that?
I did get it from a Sir Mac.
Watermelon juice is essentially when you're cutting into a watermelon and then you eat it like a regular watermelon.
Well, they add a little bit of sugar because like watermelon is so mild.
Watermelon juice is just watermelon without the chewing.
Simply watermelon juice. Get that.
Ugh.
Delicious.
God, that does not sound appetizing, but okay.
Wait, so like juice as a mixer, you don't like that either?
I did like the watermelon juice in place for the mimosa. I used watermelon juice and champagne. That was so good.
Oh my god, dude.
No joke. That's the last time I drank watermelon juice because I was drinking a mimosa.
Wait, so like cranberry juice and like apple juice, like none of that?
Apple juice is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. a normal juice. Finally. A normal beverage.
Most people think orange juice when you think of juice. Like if someone's like, here's a cup of juice, you'd expect orange.
Yeah.
You don't have any weird juice preferences, Braxton?
Weirdest. Well, so like I like just kind of the fruity shit. So it's like if it's like the tropical or like the berry punch or stuff like that.
So you're talking about like that contains 20% juices.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Barely
they're making up
juice.
fruits that don't exist, and it's the juice. Like
and
like
the apple was
tropical
used.
blast punch or something stupid like that.
Blue juice. Blue's my favorite flavor.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like blueberry freeze, like all that stupid stuff that doesn't exist. Like I don't know, like growing up, I think apple. You know what I really liked? I really liked grape juice. Grape juice is really good.
I love grape juice. Grape
Like,
juice is good.
Welch's?
Now it's a little too sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welch's grape juice?
Isn't Welch's? That's diluted juice too.
Yeah.
I think.
I think so. Yeah.
It's the sugar water.
My favorite is the Humboldt Farms juices. I love carrot juice. It's so good.
No.
Carrot juice is amazing.
I never crossed over into the vegetables. I never crossed over.
Well, carrots got like a hint of sweetness to them, so it's like what you're saying about it not being too sweet. It's on, and it has like a creaminess to it, so it's kind of like milk.
Oh, that does.
But then don't call it carrot milk because that will ruin it for me.
I could see that because I've had some carrot soups that are good, but like
the only thing carrot is good for is like put it in a stew, good, or you put it in a cake, and that's it. Those are the only two good uses for carrots.
No way.
I know. I completely agree with him there. I love carrot cake, and a carrot is necessary for a good mirepoix. So like. Yeah,
but like that's not the only uses for carrots, Rob.
No, those are the only two.
I like shoestring carrots, like the fried garnish carrots. Those
like a nice like grilled carrot with like a nice little glaze on it. Oh my god!
I can't remember the last time I've had a grilled carrot, but it does sound pretty good.
Trust me.
Sounds almost as good as carrot juice.
So basically, we've got Matt chilling with a watermelon mimosa and some grilled carrots as this nice snack. Is what I'm getting from this.
That's how I start my mornings before
And
before and
Braxton's
after work.
chilling on some Hawaiian high five punch while watching some Arthur on PBS.
Hey, you know.
And I'm over here milking carrots.
Hey, I used to drink High C when I was younger.
High C, I remember those boxes.
I was more of a high C person than Capri Sun.
Capri Sun, I hated. There was like a particular taste all of them had, and I was
Yeah.
like,
It was metal or
something,
aluminum, or
maybe.
whatever
It probably
the
was.
packages were made out of.
it
I
probably
know what you're
was.
talking about. It's like the cherry one that had that tastes the most.
Those sucked.
Oh my!
those were
God.
all.
But
I don't
they
know
all
what
had
it
them.
was. Yeah, just like on different
Like
levels. It was probably that
when's
mold that they found in one of the juice pouches like a couple years ago.
What's the last time you guys remember having a Capri Sun? Like I like we all remembered how bad the cherry one was, or whatever flavor it was. But like, when's the last time you've actually had a Capri Sun?
I think one time in college, it was like at a picnic. Someone's like, "You guys remember Capri Suns?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, Capri Suns." And then it was just as bad as I remembered.
And then
Brought a
Matt,
flood of
that
memories.
man was Matt.
Like, I feel like Capri Suns and like Lunchables were like the two things I was
Oh
like,
my
oh, I
God.
gotta have them.
Lunchables, the gateway charcuterie.
Have you guys had a Lunchable recently?
I want to say maybe in college, and I think the reasoning for it was like literally a conversation like this where we're in the Walmart walking by it and we're like, oh shit, yo, you remember Lunchables? Dude, we totally gotta have a Lunchable, dude.
Which one did you get? The pizza one?
No, I think we got one of the ones where it's just like
The crackers?
the,
Just the
like the sandwich,
just the OG.
That's
like
the
the
last
square
one.
of ham and like the square of cheese and then the crackers, and that's it.
I think that's the
made me
last
hate-
one we
I couldn't
had.
eat like deli ham after that. I can eat like, the thicker ham at Thanksgiving, but like any deli ham, I can't eat it because of Lunchables.
Yeah. That was the last time that I had it, was Rico's bachelor party in Portland. Someone, one night, the day before we went hiking, someone was like, I'm going to get a Lunchables and going to eat it after this hike. And I was carrying around my backpack. It wasn't even my Lunchables. But by the time we all settled down and started eating it, it was just warm deli meat. Just like, you open
Above
the bag and you
lukewarm.
just feel the humidity of like warm ham just giving off
Just
an
barely
aura.
above lukewarm. Just like
And like really
my-
soft cheese as well.
Oh, my tummy it's turning. It's turning. I was so distraught I called my stomach a tummy. My tummy.
Oh man, I used to think the pizzas are like the commercials for the pizzas. Like,
Oh my god.
before I ever ate a pizza Lunchable, I used to think that was like food mecca. Like I had
I know.
I
No,
had to
for
have
real.
this pizza.
Those were the best ones, like the Lunchable XLs
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
with the
God.
pizza, and then it came with the can of
yeah.
Coke. Are you kidding?
yeah.
Yeah, a
Oh,
cold can
yeah.
of soda. You skip the Capri Sun.
That's how you knew where all the rich people were at school if they had the XL versus
If
the
they had
regular.
a can of soda.
No, man.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be like my treat if I just begged hard enough in the Jewel Osco. Just like, "Oh, please,
Right.
please. I need friends. And then if you were lucky, you instead of like the Crunch Bar or whatever it came with, they had the dessert pizza, which would just be like the chocolate sauce on the side and some M&Ms you sprinkle on top of it too.
Oh my
it was
God.
sprinkles. Oh my god.
Jesus.
Yes, it was. Oh my god.
Bro.
Those
M&M's
really
are
good.
so
That's
trash.
That's hilarious.
M&Ms are not
What?
the greatest.
Wait, hold up. You wanna repeat that, sir?
Peanut M&Ms are pretty good. I love those.
Ew.
Nah.
Not peanut
There's-
butter.
Gross.
Peanut M&Ms.
There's only
That's
one
the
with
best
M&Ms,
one.
and it's the crispy M&Ms.
I'll agree with that. I can fuck around with the crispy.
The only good kind of M&M is the tiny ones because you can just fit more in your mouth when you're eating them.
But it's
The
more
M&Ms
candy
were
coating
actually
than
better.
chocolate.
The M&M minis were better.
I mean,
I appreciated the minis.
I like the tube.
Yeah,
the tube was pretty cool. There's so many things I can
forgot about
repurpose those
those
tubes now for that I just don't see M&M minis.
Bongs. Oh,
What?
I said bong. I said bongs, but yeah.
I would like to see you MacGyver one of those into a bong. That'd be interesting.
Oh, but it's plastic. It's like, this is how you destroy your lungs.
Anyone that's using an M&M minis tube as a bong has done so much worse to get to that desperate point.
That is so true.
Yeah, at that point you can only go downhill. So I mean, fuck it.
I guess that's no worse than a gravity bong with the whole 2 liter.
Kinda. I mean, yeah. I guess it just depends.
It's like the same thing. It's both plastic.
You're just like one step away from like a crack pipe at that point, though.
But it's the aesthetic.
M&M
It's the
M&M tubes are the gateway to fucking crack cocaine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Ooh, that makes me think of another thing I've been watching. I'll add it to the docket.
Well, I guess that's the end of our nostalgia. The nostalgia corner.
There you
Ooh,
go.
new segment?
New
Nostalgia?
segment.
Yeah, we just pull up one nostalgia thing that we remember and riff on that.
The nostalgia nexus.
I'm down. Well, what's next? What's next week? G.I. Joe's?
That makes me feel like I never played with those.
Me
Same
neither.
here. I did not have dolls. Those are legitimate dolls. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But they were not action figures.
But you could
I didn't have them.
you could put different outfits on them and comb their hair.
Could you?
I'm just
Could
kidding.
you? That sounds like a Barbie at that point.
They
have
were.
no idea.
Weren't they? They were dolls for boys.
Yeah, but you could comb a Barbie's hair. I had plenty of Barbie dolls around my house.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, okay, there you go. That's the teaser for next week.
That's the teaser for next week.
Yep. Toys determining gender roles.
Getting deep.
Speaking of getting in deep, welcome back to the Deep Boys podcast.
The Deep Boys?
Yeah, where we're going to get deep
Oh my god, dude.
with Matt and Braxton. That's a double intro right there.
Hey, that was deep.
And
no,
me,
dude.
your third co-host, Rob.
I'm fucking losing it today, dude.
It's a good day to lose it. It's a recovery day, so you'll have time to gather yourself after getting deep.
Oh, truck, yeah, brother. So what's up?
What's going on in the world?
There's too much going on in the world. I come here to escape that.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
But what's going on in our worlds? Like, what is coming up soon?
Well, there's a little show getting a remake by the name of Shaman King. If you guys are familiar.
Rob, how excited were you?
I'm
You saw that.
pretty damn excited. It was... That's, I think, the first introduction to weebhood for me. Because, like, I knew about those cartoons at the time because of, like, Kids WB and, like, Fox Kids and stuff like that for Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. But something always drew me to, like, Shaman King and One Piece and, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And I didn't really have any idea what anime was at the time. It was just like, oh man, these are, like, super detailed cartoons that I really like a lot. And then I found out that they were based on, like, manga and stuff. So that was the first manga I ever got. It was Shaman King. It was like, oh, there's, like, levels to this. And since it was the shitty 4Kids dub, they censored a lot. But when I got the manga, I was like, oh my god, why is everyone bleeding like buckets and just like shrugging it off? And I was like, oh, okay. There's this thing called Japanese animation, and Manga. Cool.
Yeah. I remember my first manga that I ever bought when I was really diving into the weephood was Inuyasha. And my parents basically told me I could no longer buy any more manga.
Because boobs!
Yes.
Yeah.
I bought the first maybe 2-3 chapters. And my parents were like, okay, that's enough of that. And this was before high school, so you're a kid, you see boobs, you think it's the funniest shit in the world. So of course, me being the guy that I am, showed it to my sister, and they were just like, "Okay, well, that's nice and all, but no more."
Did they confiscate them?
No, she didn't confiscate them. It's just there were more chapters that I wanted to get, and they were like, "No, you're done."
Dang.
And I was like, "All right, well, damn."
And now look at you on an anime podcast.
Yeah, look at me now. Now I can talk about hentai and no one will judge me.
That's the late night segment to this that we never get to because we're old and go to bed early. But yeah, Shaman King, that's gonna be dope. I hope they do some really cool stuff with it. I hope it's an adaptation on the same level as Hunter x Hunter being remade after like the 90s. We'll see. I don't know.
Did the original show go through all of the manga, or?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
I didn't stick with it all the way through because then like it got canceled off of Fox Kids or whatever, or maybe I just didn't watch every Saturday or Sunday because
I know. And DVR wasn't a thing.
Yeah, it was tough. It's tough
True.
back then. You miss one episode in the serialized anime, you're basically shit out of luck until it reruns in 3 months.
Or like years later. You never knew.
Yeah.
We have it so good now.
Kids don't
honestly,
even know.
Yeah, this is like if you ever wanted to be an anime fan, this is like the honestly, if you ever wanted to be an anything fan, really. I mean, anime is popping off. It's like in pop culture now. Video games are like graphically the best we've ever seen. Whether or not they're actually good is, still in question.
You say the same thing about anime. Like there's a bunch of plastic ones out there, but they don't really have the same heart as a lot of the old ones, I would say. Because before it was like people went on these projects because they were passionate about it, want to share it to the world. Now it's like, okay, how can we market this and profit?
Okay, how many isekais can we get off this season?
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm not saying that people don't go into this like expecting not to profit, but when it's just solely for fetishizing certain genres to people just because they're going to eat it up, that's where it kind of loses me.
Yeah.
Especially with isekais. That being said, ReZero coming back. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, do you actually watch that show?
I did. I do?
Wait, it came back already.
God damn, everything's coming back. I don't know. I think the thing that I was thinking of that was coming back in late July or early August was The Boys.
Oh yeah, The Boys.
Oh yeah, that's coming back soon. But
September,
ReZero, like all over the Twitter feed. I don't even watch the show, but everyone and their mom was talking about like the episode that had come out. So yeah, I guess it's out already.
Oh boy. Okay, I got a lot of catching up. I haven't like really watched any anime.
Me neither. Well, yeah, me neither. Really.
Who are we? I don't know.
Frauds, maybe. I don't know.
Oh boy. Okay. Well. Getting deeper into cancel culture, let's talk about Evo, which was canceled not only once but lost the best 2 out of 3 and is fully canceled now.
Evo went 0-2 this year, and Rob, I know how hard you were practicing during the quarantine, so I'm sorry to be the one to break the news to you.
I was getting so good at Sailor Moon.
They do run tourneys off that game.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
Yeah, I never said they were prestigious or not, but yeah, this whole Evo shit. Well, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. And it started with Smash, and now it's just the entire FGC. It's entirely in shambles. It's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was like Jeffrey Epstein of fucking video games, and like everyone's a pedophile.
I think my favorite tweet about it, I mean, like, I know it's a serious subject and stuff, but my favorite tweet about it was supposed to be Pro Smash Bros tournament, not a Pro Smash Boys tournament.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's incredibly terrible.
I'm sure there will be people that listen in and have no idea what we're talking about. But long story short, one of the it all started when one of the pro Ultimate players released a statement about how when he was 14, another Smash Bros. Person gave him a blowjob when he was 14 and she was 27, 28, something like that. Some gross age difference, right? And so that kind of opened the floodgates for whatever reason. I don't know. It was maybe just because the quarantine, people have more time to just care about this kind of stuff. But pro after pro after pro and Ultimate have been discovered to been in some sexual relationship with a underage either boy or girl in some capacity in just the worst situations. So like most of the Smash Bros. Pros are more or less canceled or just really deep shit because of the age difference. But then this eventually led up to trickling up to accusations against Mr. Wizard, who is the CEO or was the CEO of Evo, and how he would basically try and solicit nudes from underage guys
at the arcades
in exchange for arcade tokens, money, favors, etc., etc.
Jesus.
And so this whole situation was just kind of fucked. And honestly, like, I looking through the Twitter, it was just like accusation, cancellation. It was just like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like the whole weekend was just like it was like a nuclear bomb had gone off, and like the SGC was just like it was just like criminals abound.
It's been tough for the FGC, man. I mean, it's good people are coming out here and giving their accounts for this stuff to, hold people accountable. And I think that's the biggest takeaway, that, you should be listening to victims, and, that's really all I have to say about it. And I'm not really at a loss for this year getting, like, the tournament getting canceled. It was already going to be an online tournament, whatever. But this is the kind of thing, like, we need reform for, man. Like, this can't keep going. It's just super yucky. All of it's super yucky. And I'm glad a lot of these companies are pulling out of that until things get changed.
It's just messy all around. Apparently, I didn't know. You always see Smash, since Smash was like the largest amount of people who were accused anyway, at least that I saw. You always see the Smash tournaments, and it's all ages, whatever, but you never really see any of the after parties, because you just hear story after story after story of all these like 14, 15-year-olds drinking with like 30-year-olds, and it's just like, ugh, that's just like, ugh. And then eventually, if it turns into like I think the worst age range I thought was Kitaro, who's like, he's like a 30-year-old man, right? And he was having a sexual relationship with like a 16-year-old. Like, come on, like, ugh. I mean, you just can't. I don't know. That's just where it just gets really messy for me. Like, that's just gross.
I don't know if there's any situations where there was any grooming involved, but like that's a whole thing on its own now too. Where
I think that's the first one. I think the first one was potential grooming because he was 14. I mean, like, you don't know shit at 14, and imagine some 13 years. Like, I don't remember where I was when I was 14. I think maybe grade school, middle school, and then some out of college girl just blows you and then hangs out with you at tournaments and like is all touchy feely on you. Like, you can't. It's through puberty. That's got to be a fucked up time for all that shit to happen.
And the worst part is, I don't think you internalize any of that until later on in life, where you like look back and it's just like, wait a minute, this was not a normal situation.
Yeah, I mean, that you can't process that at that age. I mean, that's just way too much. Puberty's already hard enough. I mean, fucking hell.
I know, I'm still going through it, I hope.
Trying to grow a couple more inches or what?
Oh man, you set yourself up for that.
Yeah, as soon as I finished that sentence, I was like, I probably shouldn't have said that. But yeah, Evo's canceled. We'll come back next year, maybe, if we don't all die of the virus, and maybe
You
we'll
can't
have
die.
less pedophiles.
I need to get married, and I need you guys to be there.
I'm glad that we're like the locks for like if one of us dies, like you can't get married, like you're banned from marriage after that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have a Neat Boys podcast themed wedding without the Neat Boys.
True.
True.
Should we have an episode during your reception?
Yes, I'm gonna need you to give live commentary and then just go from table to table. How do you feel about the Neat Boys podcast? And people will just be like, "Excuse me."
Me and Matt in the back of the reception with our microphones, just recording the entire thing. That sounds awesome.
Ooh. I'd be down.
We point the webcam at both of you during your vows, and Kristen fucking beats the shit out of us.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I just get done with the vows and it's like, and now moving on into Rex.
Oh my god.
Here's our new section, wedding. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a one-time only section, so you better enjoy it.
Ideally, one time. Only time will tell. But yeah, Evo getting canceled. Good riddance for now.
Yeah.
Let's get some
That was
reputable
messed
people
up.
back in there to rebuild things.
Yeah.
And then what else is going on IRL that's not too yucky? Well, the LA comic scene's about to fucking get taken down, or I hope it does. That shit's kind of weird. Not gonna go too much into that. More grooming.
Mhm.
And then,
Well, yeah, we talked about The Boys coming back. That's another good show coming back.
The Boys.
That's some good news.
I didn't see the teaser for that. I think they released the full trailer today.
They have a new superhero. Or a new, what are they called again? They're not called supers. Soups.
I have no huge expectations. I would just like to get more background on where they left off. That was kind of a shitty cliffhanger, but a good one.
Oh, yeah. It made no sense.
Kinda. It's a stretch.
Because, well, they like loosely pointed that out that... Actually, no. I could see it now. I'm still confused. I don't know what's going to happen.
Watch our recap. You'll be fine.
It's good. Well, no, it's not good. It's bad. Well, it's not bad,
It's
but... all right.
It's The Boys.
I don't remember.
Oh, what about Steven Jackson completely undermining himself from his Black Lives Matter statement into basically endorsing anti-Semitism?
Huh?
He basically
What,
quoted Hitler, and now no one in the NBA is speaking out against what's wrong with that. They're just kind of agreeing with him. And it's completely hypocritical to everything that he was standing for and like what a lot of people, including myself, looked up to for that kind of movement.
Well, what did he say
this is-
exactly? I didn't.
I didn't see it, but apparently he went on a very anti-Semitic rant with Hitler's elements in it. But nowadays when people do dumb shit, this is kind of like now the Trump's influence on like, oh, this is just fake news, or the other good excuse is like, I'm just speaking my truth. How dare all these bigots hate on me with my free speech and blah, blah, blah. So I think that's kind of how I assume that's how that conversation went. Because if no one's super pissed at him, then that just means he probably pulled one of those cards, because everyone does nowadays. And, it is what it is. This is what happens when the NBA is gone, all right? They can't dribble, so now they got to start talking, and then you're like, well, fuck, we don't want them to talk. We just need them to go back and fucking 360 dunk on somebody so I can get my rocks off.
Oh, man.
Wait, who said that?
No, this is me. I
Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's just like this is it's really the quarantine. Honestly, people are stuck in their homes. They're bored out of their minds, and now they're just wilding out. I mean, it's kind of good because you can see where all the crazy people are now. But at the other time, it's like, Jesus Christ! Like, you can't just be a normal human being for like a couple of months. Like, you really have to.
How about be a normal human being for life?
I don't really even care about that. A couple months at this rate would be quite the improvement.
No, man. Like, we need to stay improved. This is the whole point of all this. I think. It's, without getting too political, I think you can just basically summarize it as being a good person. Understanding your faults, improving on those faults, carrying on with life.
Bro, what is this? The SJW cast, bro?
I mean,
can't believe this fucking these liberals podcasters. They're gonna educate me on being a good person.
We're a podcast of 3 people of color. Like, what? What do you want me to endorse here? I just think that there's a lot of uncovered bigotry that's happened these past few months, and it's been very eye-opening. I thought I was like pretty, I don't know, privy to this stuff before, but it's just kind of opened my eyes more to this whole, I don't know, internalized struggle thing that I thought I saw but didn't see before. I don't know. It hurts reading a lot of these personal experiences people are putting out there, not just with like law enforcement, just like everyday life, and knowing that this kind of stuff has been going on, but people just haven't been listening, myself included. I don't know, it hurts. It does. All
that Ignatius shit was coming out too. That shit was pretty fucking. That shit was wild.
I can't even say I'm surprised. I don't remember things being that bad when we were there.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of high school, I think of, I mean, obviously we're all a bunch of shitheads, but like, race really didn't, at least from what I was seeing, race didn't really play a big part of it. We were just all assholes to each other.
Yeah. I think our table was pretty, our lunch table at the time was pretty like, up to speed on that kind of thing too. We had a pretty diverse table where we kind of just clowned each other based off.
Yeah, like if I'm thinking like the worst things that happened that I can remember from high school, it's like a couple people got in some fights. We threw egregious amounts of food across each other in the cafeteria, and maybe the cops got called a couple times because of either a party or we were shit talking some team after a basketball game and people wanted to fight. Really, just revolves around fighting. Like not a lot of the race stuff I was seeing from my perspective, but I mean, I can't speak for everybody, obviously.
I've been mistaken for being Native American before, which I think was just kind of like a half shit joke, half serious question at the time, but that's about it. I've never experienced any like real hate speech.
Like, Matt, so, I mean, me and Rob went to school together, but what was your high school like? Was it like, I mean, long story short, since you didn't know, I mean, our I guess some alumni from our high school were posting, I guess there's like an anonymous tip line now for our high school, and so people were posting like all their recent racial or sexual experiences that had happened at the school that were bad or whatever.
Damn.
So I didn't know if you had something similar that was going on in your high school or something like that.
No. Well, to be honest, I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything. But yeah, my high school was pretty chill. I never had to really deal with anything. Even though I was probably like the only. There's like 2 Filipinos.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and then like everyone else was for the most part white, like Asians here and there.
I think it's funny that like everyone that I hang out from high school with now, aside from like 2 people, is either black or Filipino. Like I honestly there's only
or
like
both.
There's only 2.
Shout out Evan.
Oh yeah, or both. Evan gets the there's there's the daily double obviously of Evan, but yeah, everyone else that I hang out with is either Filipino or black individually, and then just like maybe 2 white dudes, 1 white dude. Okay, 1 white couple. We'll put it that way. That's it. Yeah, I think the only sus thing would have been like I saw this teacher come up in the post a lot. Sister Therese, she was the nun who taught history that I had. I think the only sus thing I remember from her, well, and she's like 80, 90, whatever, who cares? And I remember she had told someone in my class that she didn't trust female pilots to be as good as male pilots.
Oh.
And I was like, huh, that's weird. You would slam dunk your own gender like that, but I mean, you're 80, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. But,
It's weird you have a gender preference on airlines pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm just like, well, obviously, whoever the pilot is, they don't want to die any more than you do. So, like, I don't get it. But I do clearly remember her saying that in one of our classes. And I was just like, wow, that's weird. But, okay.
It's just like they grew up in a whole different generation where ideas were basically everyone had the same ideas, and like everyone just kind of accepted that.
I feel like everyone has a racist grandpa or grandma. Sorry, and it's just like they grew up in a different time. It is what it is. Like my grandma, I know when she was alive, she'd come to visit me during my college years, and she told me to be careful of the white people. And I was like, all right. And I was like, I mean, she grew up in a time where, white people literally hated her. So I can totally understand her, her caution. It's just a different era.
I have a funny story about that. I wouldn't say like my grandparents were racist or anything, but when they were, growing up in the Philippines, there's not like a lot of diversity, so America's kind of like a culture shock in that regard. So one time, Braxton and our other friend Vaughn came over, and I think that was the night we all stayed up till like 4 a.m. unlocking everyone in Naruto's Ninja Storm 2.
Nice. Yep, I remember that. Yep.
We knocked out, and my grandma was staying with us at the time. And like at this point, she's having some like early onset dementia and stuff like that. So a lot of the things she would say would kind of be like repetitive or predictable or stuff like that. So you wouldn't hear too many new phrases or anything. But she would always be up like 7 a.m., made coffee, playing solitaire, humming to herself, and Braxton and Vaughn were sleeping in the living room. And then I come down just to like let her know, like, yo, like, Grandma, can you calm it down on the humming right now? Like, we're trying to sleep. And she just looks up at me while she's playing cards, and she's like, who are those 2 black guys? Like, Grandma, those are my friends. You saw them last night. I just thought that was kind of like a weird, sweet way to acknowledge my friends, I guess.
That's funny. I guess she wasn't loud enough because I don't remember. I don't think I woke up at all. I mean, we were up to what, 3? There was no way. No way I would have woken up.
It was just me wanting her to stop humming, to be honest. I'm trying to sleep here. Come on, Grandma.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
I think the humming was supposed to put you to sleep. It didn't do it.
No.
Yeah. I don't know why. A lot of Filipinos have a grandma that just loves humming. Like, and it's like not very like melodic humming. It's just like a humming, but somehow it works. It puts those babies to sleep somehow. Not when you're older though, because when you're older, you're like, these notes don't work together.
A little tone deaf, yeah, understandably. But yeah, that was another way you can tell that she was kind of like getting like more and more into her dementias. That they used to be full songs, but then as the years go by, it's just like couple songs, couple like lyrics here and there, hum in between, and it just went on to like full on humming. Like, oh no. Yeah, where did we come from? How did we get here?
Evo.
I don't know. Well,
Evo just
we
brought out.
went from Evo, and then we just kind of riffed. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I guess if we ain't got nothing left with my double negatives there, we can just stroll on into patch notes. Very exciting patch notes, I might add. So I'll have lots of questions. All right, welcome to Passion.
No, go on.
Rob, you played Danganronpa V3? Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes, I finally.
Fuck
finished.
yeah, dude.
I like the pace I played it at, because I think the other ones I kind of just like put in a couple 8-hour sessions here and there, and just like it was just done. Right. With this, I got to play like a couple hours here and there, internalize it, and then come back to it. So I like that. I might replay the other ones. But, oh my god, this one was a trip. I like the cases were pretty good at first. Or no, like on all the way through, they were pretty entertaining. I like the characters in this one a lot. The designs weren't as good as maybe Danganronpa 2. Like, those designs were amazing. I love the characters in it. But this one was pretty good too. Until that last like 2 to 3 hours. Holy shit. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but it just gets so cerebral at that point. And like it does things that can only be done in a video game. And I loved it all. And to the point where I dove back in to see if there's anything else I could do with that story. And it just
honestly, yeah, 3 is like I would say it's the culmination of every Danganronpa that came before it, and is the best version of Danganronpa that it can possibly be. Like I obviously, you know, each Danganronpa has its like kind of logic leaps in some of the cases here and there, and this one's no different. But like, just from a story perspective, from a character perspective, and especially from an ending perspective, I think it's a really, really good game.
I think that's maybe the best video game ending I've ever experienced. It left me wanting more. It made me think about myself as a person. And like, in the end, I don't really like the main characters of any of these games. They're pretty like cookie cutter to help you self-impose yourself on there. But then at the end of this one, it was just like, oh shit, there's a lot to unpack there. And it really came through based off of the situation.
Yeah, I'd love for them to do one, but I don't think they're gonna make any more.
I think it would betray everything they Danganronpa 3 was.
That's the problem. That they, because of how 3 ended from a story perspective, it doesn't make sense for them to make another one. Even though I believe they could always make a prequel. That technically makes sense. If
they did that with Ultra Despair Girls.
Yeah, but that's a shooting game. That's not a detective That's not an Ace Attorney detective game. That's just a shooter.
I never played that one. I still make fun if I want to in that.
I watched a playthrough on YouTube just for the story bits. It's alright. But yeah, Danganronpa is like one of those like stupid name, yeah, sure, but like really, really intriguing. If you like detective mysteries and stuff like that, like it's really good. I mean, it's a combination of just kind of things that I like. I like visual novels. I like, detective games. And they don't shy away from violence or anything like that. So and the music they're all bangers. Every single Danganronpa is banger city. All right.
I was not
the
a
composer.
Big fan of the soundtrack of 3.
Can go die.
The ones I like the entire. I like the entire soundtrack minus the Monocub theme, and then I'm not a huge fan of Monokuma's theme. It's not. It isn't really, it's too like whimsically off-putting from the tone that he's giving off. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just it doesn't really resonate with me. But those trial themes, oh my god, really, really just get the blood flowing.
Well, not only that, they introduced a bunch of new mechanics too. I mean, this is you can lie in court now. You can commit perjury.
That is super confusing to me because I never knew like when to use. There's one case where I had no idea when to use it, and I had to look up a guide, and it was like, oh yeah, you have to lie. Okay, there's nothing that can get in that way.
The thing with perjury is you can lie. There's specific points in the case where you have to lie, but then there's other points in the cases where you can lie if you want to, and it will still work. So like you can kind of play
different story outcomes if you lie.
The story, no, but you can get special interactions if you how every time you were getting a grade on your case, you got at the bottom there are like back roots. So the back roots are if you lie at a point in the conversation where you're not supposed to, but you do anyway. And so it'll just go into a different path for temporarily and then go back onto the main path. But you can find ways to lie in the court. And find, like, I accidentally found a back route by myself, but there's like a ton of them. You'd have to look up a guide for them because they're either not that intuitive or you have to have like Albert Einstein IQ to figure out when to use it.
Damn. Okay. Well, there's some replay value there.
I love that game. That game's great.
I know. I wish I could just like live in there a little longer.
Yeah. Unfortunately, once you play it once, you really can't play it again. I mean, you could, but like everything.
But that was such a great game.
Well, speaking of other cerebral games, you also bought Disco Elysium? I didn't know that.
So, I remember last time you went into like mechanics, so I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I really like the open world point and click adventure kind of thing. That's really cool. And then the whole branch system in that game is unlike anything that I've really experienced there. So like it's broken up into what, like your psych branch, your physical branch, your logical branch, and your motor skills branch.
Yeah, motor skills, something like that. Yeah.
And then there's like 5 categories within each of those. And I picked the psychological branch as my strong suit. So like the things that I have advantages in are like your empathy when conversing with people. You'll have different dialogue options. Your level of like suggestion, and then Inland Empire is like always the one that people talk about, which is my highest right now. And that's just like the ability to communicate and converse with your other skills and emotions as if they were their own characters, or just inanimate objects in general to learn more about them by like interviewing.
Inland Emperor is so fucking loud. Inland Emperor never fucking stops talking.
Yeah, but that's how I didn't really know how to use those cues until like 5 hours in, when whenever you like converse with someone, Matt, when you're interrogating them or questioning them, your other like emotions and skills will like pop in for like a little blurb, like maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't like drive so hard on this point. maybe you should ask them more about like how their socks feel in their shoes right now, and that'll like progress the story. And it's making me want to start like another game in unison with this one, and like just pick like a fully physical build and then see if I get those cues still. I don't think I will, but there's a lot of like
okay, I see.
So you picked a fully like kind of communicative build, and I think I made motor skills my like primary, and I think my logic my secondary. So like my empathy was like shit when I started. I had to kind of build that up a little bit. So I'm sure like obviously our paths in the game, literally at the beginning of the game, are completely different, and that's what makes this game like so phenomenal. Honestly, is the replayability is like limitless almost.
Yeah, I hope I'm not near the end yet. I'm maybe like 7 hours in right now.
What are you? Well, I guess what are you doing? Because I guess there's no like set route, quote unquote. Like I know where I left off technically, but there's no like routes that I know of anyway.
I'm still trying to like my main objective right now that I have personally chosen is just to try to get the body down.
Okay, so you're pretty at the beginning then.
Yeah. And I just met the Hardy Boys.
Oh, okay.
Fuck those guys. But that's a really cool game, and I'm glad I'm finally like getting into it more after finishing Mega Man.
Nice.
I like the currency system in that. Like it really makes exploration the most valuable thing because you don't really find money as easily as you would with other games, and like Daddy needs a cigarette. You know, I need to get him my intellect boost.
Oh, do you smoke? That's funny.
Here and there, just because it feels right with the situation, with like my partner, like going out for a cig. I'm like, I'm hanging, so I'll join them. I don't really use them to my benefit. I've used like that universe's acid just to help raise my empathy to get like an answer I wanted, but I scum saved just to see what that answer would be, and like I'll come back to it later when I build up my empathy more. But it was like a very high level empathy in order to get the answer that I wanted. And right now I can only do that with the power of drugs. So I'll come back to that later. I want to keep this clean. I want to have like a pretty like clean redemption run for this dude. And then on my next playthrough, I think I'm just gonna go like full scumbag. Just do all the drugs.
I mean, you're at the beginning, so I understand that sentiment because I wanted to do the same thing. But then as the story progresses, you realize your character did so much shit off camera that you then discover later that it's like, well, fuck me, I can't. No one can respect me after this. Even
no, I'm gonna redeem myself. I'm gonna do it. The dream sequences. Well, I've only experienced one night, but I'm assuming that every night you fall asleep, since you're such a fucking junkie and like, alcoholic, you have these crazy like hangover dreams where you have to play out the dream in your head before you wake up, and that's how you kind of like piece together your background and stuff like that. And that part's been really wild. Just based off that first dream, I was like, oh, okay, this probably might be one of the more interesting points in the game that I look forward to.
Yeah, this shit gets kind of wild and wacky pretty quick. I will say money gets easier to come by after you get rid of after you put the body down. Money gets a lot easier because I was freaking out about having enough money to fucking stay in my hotel room, but eventually it gets a little better.
I got bailed out selling those spinners, so that was cool. Yeah, more to come with that in the future. It's been a wild ride so far. Tell me about your thoughts on Personas 3 through 5.
Well, I won't make this too long, and this time I'm being honest because we've been too long already, and I haven't beaten 4 yet. But Atlas decided to give us all a gift and kill the PS Vita at the same time by putting Persona 4 Golden on Steam. So I literally bought that immediately. And I will say, now that I have context of P3 and P5, P4 is a really good game. And it is also proving to me that Persona 5, despite how good I think it is and how I think it's like the best RPG, one of the best RPGs out there, Persona 5 is piss easy compared to the other two games. It's almost like laughable how easy Persona 5 is compared to the other two.
From a combat perspective?
Yes, from a combat perspective. Because P3 is like, tear your hair out hard. Especially
in terms of like having to grind?
Well, that's one aspect of it, yes. So, I mean, Persona 3, you can't control your teammates. The grind is enormous. And it also gets boring because you only have, you don't have palaces or anything. You just have one area, Tartarus. You want to beat the game, you have to go through the entirety of Tartarus. You know how many floors Mementos is? Mementos is like less than 100 floors, right? And with Persona Royale, let's add another 30 just to be generous. We got 120 floors. Tartarus is 260-something floors. And you got to play that whole shit through the entire game. It's very boring. Like, if you don't enjoy that, you're not going to have a fun time with Persona 3. And that's not including the DLC. I think the DLC adds another like 30 or 40 floors. So you're thinking of like 300 floors of Tartarus that you have to go through.
Can you play it at your own pace, or does a floor lock you off until you progress the story outside?
It locks you off until you progress the story.
Okay.
And you can also soft lock yourself as well, because the way the game works is that, like the rest of the Personas, you'll have a time limit to do something. It's basically, for Persona 3, it's every full moon you have to fight a boss. So you can see a timer, which is just the phases of the moon. And once you hit the full moon, if you're not strong enough to beat that boss, go fuck yourself, right? Persona 4 and Persona 5 86'd that and said, okay, if you lose versus this boss at this time, we'll give you another week again to restart and try and beat it this time. But yeah, I mean, Persona 3 is just the hardest of all of them. And Persona 5, like, they give you so many fucking options in terms of combat, in terms of special abilities. Once you get your confidants up, it's almost impossible to lose in Persona 5 once you get enough of the good stuff. But yeah, I mean, Persona 4, well, I haven't beaten it yet, so I could be talking out of my ass, but it's a smaller, localized story. Like Persona 3, you're fighting fucking death. Persona 5, you're fighting God, right? In Persona 4, you're just, it's a detective mystery. You're trying to find a culprit. You want to beat him, and save the town. It's not a big, epic deal. That being said, once I beat the game, if I end up fighting God in Persona 4, I'll let you guys know I was wrong. But it's fun. The cast is fun. I really enjoy. This is the first Persona game where your classmates don't treat you like shit your first day. Everyone's really nice. It's the countryside. Everyone's friendly and all that. And the music, Persona music is still good. They're all bangers. So yeah, I've been very much enjoying my time with Persona 4. And it's seeing a Persona game in 60 frames per second. I didn't know that's what I wanted in my life, but it really puts Persona 5 to shame, honestly, because Persona 5 at 60 frames would look awesome. Persona 4 at 60 frames is like, oh, this is what we could have had. It's like, damn. But
now let's step it up. That's
yeah. But that's all.
Funny you mentioned.
That's all I gotta say.
It's funny you mentioned P4 is more of a like localized story, because it reminds me of this anime season 4 called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, where they go from fighting gods to a more localized story in a Japanese suburb as well.
Yeah, that's basically the comparison. Yeah, it's small potatoes. Well, to be fair, I mean, if we lose this fight, the world dies. And by the world, I mean just Japan. But it's, we're not fighting a god. We're fighting right now, at least, I'm fighting a human man with powers. So.
Yuck.
Like,
yeah, man.
Gross. Disgusting.
It's
but yeah,
relevant.
I'll have a longer discussion on Persona 4 once I actually beat it. But for now, it's good. if I had to rank the games right now, I would say Persona 3. I don't want to play that game anymore. Persona 4 and 5. I could play those games a lot more.
Did you beat 3? You beat 3, right?
I did beat 3. It bored me to tears. Not the story. The story was good. Don't get me wrong. I like the story. It's just it was way too grindy. I should have put cheat codes in, and I didn't. So that's on me.
It's okay. We all learn from our mistakes.
Yep.
I started playing Gwent on my mobile device.
This is not on patch
Poggers.
notes, Matt.
Poggers.
I forgot. But I only played 2 games, so I'm still very confused. I'm learning. Yeah, I'm on mobile.
Yo, add me. I really don't have that much experience on it either, so...
Wait, add me.
Sure.
I'm the one who's been playing this fucking game.
I'll add you guys.
Beta.
I can add you guys after. I'm trash right now. Because I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm learning. You live and you learn.
I forgot everything I learned, so I'll be right there with you.
Awesome.
I mean, Braxton, since you're the most experienced with it, are you?
I mean, I guess I played the most of it, I guess, out of us 3, but if you want to say experienced, I don't know.
So it's like you have 2 lines, and then depending on where you put your card, it has different effects type deal?
Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. They made it a 2-row game now, so you have your ranged units, you have your melee units, and you have units that can just go wherever. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a card game. Yeah, it's not 3 lanes anymore. It's 2.
It used to be 3.
Okay. Yeah, it's 3 in The Witcher 3.
Okay.
And then when they started the beta, it was 3 lanes. But then they realized all the cards that they made for The Witcher 3 are stupid broken and won't possibly work against actual human people. So they were like, okay, we can't do this anymore. So they scrapped it, retweaked it for 2 lanes, and now it's the game we got now.
Cool. Well, been playing it a little bit. Pretty trash.
It's good.
I'll make sure to add you guys afterwards.
With an update, too. So
Dope. Okay.
Cool.
And with that concludes the patch notes on the current version we're on. And now we're moving into
Cine Matthew. Hi, y'all. We had some homework. Everyone do their homework? Everyone poop their pants?
is that the homework?
Yeah. Did you guys want to start with Hereditary, or do you want to end with Hereditary?
Let's end with Hereditary so I can just blow through my list right now.
Sounds good. Well, Rob.
Cool.
Blow away. Hannibal TV series. Is this like Hannibal as in Buress or no?
Hannibal as in what?
Hannibal Buress, or is this like Hannibal as in Lecter? Or Hannibal as in neither?
It's the Hannibal Lecter story, but they casted Hannibal Buress.
Nice.
So instead of Hannibal the cannibal that we all know, it's Hannibal the Hannibal.
Honestly, that would probably be a pretty good show. Hannibal Buress as Hannibal Lecter. But
yeah.
Continue with Hannibal.
So this is a TV series, started in 2013 and came out with 3 seasons before getting abruptly canceled. But it starts out as a crime show along the lines of like a CSI kind of thing. But it takes place before Hannibal Lecter is captured and aged in prison from the Silence of the Lamb movie. So from here you have a detective, and he is going around solving like these heinous crimes from serial killers around the nation, and his involvement is brought in by Jack Crawford, who's also in the Silence of the Lambs movies, but in this he's played by Lawrence Fishburne, which is pretty sweet.
Okay.
But the reason that they involve him is because he has this ability to help them solve crimes because of his extremely vivid imagination and high sense of empathy, to the point where he can see things through the eyes of these serial killers and dissect a crime scene in his head about why things were done and how they were done, and then eventually narrow it down to, okay, well, here are the people that like are capable of this kind of thing and where they would get their resources from, and that's where like the FBI would get involved. So it's kind of like a villain of the week deal there, with the big bad being the, oh god, what they call him, basically Hannibal. But Hannibal is very unpredictable in his killings because like he masks his killings as other serial killers' killings in order to like hide it in plain sight kind of deal. And then so Hannibal's background, he's a psychologist or a psychiatrist. So when they start involving the detective, like they know because of his high level empathy, he's very susceptible to getting trauma from putting himself in the killer's shoes, being just like a non-serial killer person. So they want to go get him. They want to make sure he's like staying mentally stable. So they give him to the care of Hannibal. So Hannibal kind of like understands what he can gain from having his insight and where he can commit his crimes without giving himself away too much, and then also help Detective Will connect the dots from his perspective as like a serial killer too, but he doesn't know that. That's like season 1 and 2. Season 3 takes a dramatic turn where it's not so much that crime show format anymore, and it becomes like Dexter kind of, but like a very cinematic Dexter. There's a lot of like phantom cam and macro shots to these crazy visuals, like people getting artistically killed, I guess you could say. The crime scenes get made into like art installations, basically. Super disturbing.
So they show the kill, or
they show a lot.
Okay.
They show this dude. This dude gets drugged up. You don't know what it is, but you can assume that it's PCP or something, right? Because what he's doing is he's cutting off chunks of his face and feeding them to dogs, and like laughing while he's doing it. And it's like a form of torture for what he's done to some people. And like the whole time this is going on, I'm just like, okay, they could show all this because it was on like CBS or something, but we have a problem with showing boobs. Like, what's the line there?
We're asking the real questions. The real question. Where are the free the titty? You gotta free the titty, dude.
No, all of it. Even PPs. Let them rip.
We got plenty of those in Game of Thrones. I think I'm PP'd out.
No, you gotta free them both.
Yeah,
free them all.
Censorship doesn't make sense to me. The fact that
it
there's a scene where people are used as mushroom planters by getting them drugged up and sedated, and then having their bodies slowly decompose to grow a mushroom garden. They start digging up the bodies, and then one of them's still alive. And like when they try pulling him out, like his face just slides off, and they don't censor any of that. So it's just like, okay, this is ridiculous. But then they have like sex scenes, and they're like tastefully covered by like cloth and stuff like that, and satin sheets, and it's just like, okay, I don't get this.
You said this was on CBS?
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
No. It's like just as gory as like the worst parts of The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, I guess Walking Dead is pretty gory as well. But like the mushrooms and the face decomposing off, that is just
it's seriously disturbing. It's not something I would recommend watching while you're eating.
That's probably why they canceled it. People were just like watching CBS, hey,
No, but
my
it's
child's
good.
gonna learn today. And then they're just like, this face is just melting off. And there's grabbing mushrooms off of him. Damn.
This is pretty good.
CBS.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
But you said it just abruptly got canceled. That sucks.
I haven't finished it yet, but yeah, it got canceled, and there's talks of bringing it back because like it has a pretty big cult following. But we'll see. Maybe Netflix will pick it up. I don't know.
What are you watching
I need
it
to see
on
how it
right
ends.
now?
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix?
All of it's on Netflix. Yeah,
Cool.
it's a good watch. It's a good watch.
Damn. So what about let's move on then. Mid-90s. What's up with
Mid-90s.
that?
Well, contrary to popular belief, this took place in the mid-90s.
What?
Or at least it's a period piece during the mid-90s about a kid growing up in LA and another coming of age story and just trying to find your like place being an awkward ass kid with finding your awkward ass crew and just kind of developing your preferences and stuff there. And there's a lot to take away from it just from metaphorical perspective, but to like put it simply, I guess it's kind of like the Los Angeles version of Kids, if you guys have ever seen Kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that minus a lot of the
Is it as like
really edgy shit.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's just as edgy, just different situations.
Okay. Same age?
Um,
How old are the
the main character is 14, so he's in that like weird stage before high school and just trying to like develop an identity. So he goes out and starts hanging around like a skate shop and stuff like that. And eventually like befriends a lot of the skate shop people, and hijinks ensue from there. And it's kind of just like figuring out how teenagers act and finding out then like, oh wait, that's really not how they act. And yeah, just finding like your family outside of your family, because like we all have our like crews and stuff
Cool.
outside family where you can kind of like I don't know, be yourself, I guess, at that point in time.
When did this show come out?
This came out in 2018. This was produced and directed by Jonah Hill.
Oh.
And it's kind of like his it's not like based on a true story kind of thing, but it's basically his perspective of growing up in LA at the time.
So is it like more comedic or kind of just like an actual
Comedic, dramatic. It's an A24 film. So like,
okay,
there's-
yeah.
it has that A24 polish to it, where it's like super art housey cinematic shots and like vaporwave scores and stuff like that.
And just like out there humor almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like dark situational humor. You know what? These next 3 movies are all A24.
Really?
We've been watching a ton of A24 like unknowingly.
Jesus.
Hey, they're killing it.
I love their. Oh, the next 4 Hereditary is A24
Yeah,
too.
I was about to say Hereditary is one.
I've slowly fallen in love with or quickly fallen in love with that studio. Like I just love everything they put out. It's just like raw and uncensored, and it doesn't really adhere to your typical like Hollywood format. Like it's the opposite. All their movies are pretty much the opposite of what's the movie I saw recently that's like so formulaic? The Wrong Missy. That one. Like any Happy Madison movie, A24 is not.
Yeah,
in
no.
my eyes.
It's not built for like the masses. It's built for like somebody that wants to like really almost like that cultish, like those cult movies that people love. It kind of like draws them into that.
Yeah. I don't know. I really love the way those movies are because it's like I can never really predict what's going on. They kind of just flow into themselves organically, and it's not like over the top. The dialogue's not like over the top. It's like things people would actually say to each other and not like sprinkled with all this intricate vocabulary. Yeah. That's the one thing I don't like about Hannibal. The conversations in that, it feels like everyone has a thesaurus on hand and they're referencing it like mid-conversation to sound like super pretentious and smart. And like they are fucking smart, but
it makes sense.
It's very like inorganic. All the A24 movies I love because all the conversations just seem like real organic dialogue between those two people in that point in time. So yeah, mid-90s, just excellent representation of that. I also found out A24 is what differentiates them from other studios is that they give a lot of the creative power to the director to show the story that they want to show. Yeah. So Lady Bird, another A24 film. And this takes place in Sacramento. And it's about a girl growing up in a strict Catholic school and kind of like being very counterculture to what everything was set up to like raise her and stuff like that. And a lot of the scenes just remind me, like it brought me back to a lot of my high school experiences, like doing Ash Wednesday in school and like
oh yeah,
just watching it from an outside perspective was just like why do they do that kind of thing? I mean, like I have that like the background and stuff to kind of understand, but if you're watching this as someone that was not like raised Catholic, then it kind of gives like a little preview into what goes on there and stuff. That movie's a dark comedy, and it's just like it's not like the dark comedy where like people are dying and it's like situationally funny. It's like the dark comedy of you're gonna get stuck in the town you live in if you don't like buckle down kind of deal. It's like real world problems in that sense, and kind of like laughing it off is like, oh, if you keep adding like a fuck up, you're gonna stay here kind of deal. So yeah, that's a really cool movie. It's been a little while since I've seen it, so I kind of lost all my notes on it. I gotta start taking more notes to bring to these discussions, but yeah, Lady Bird, I think it's like top 3 one of my favorite movies I've seen this year so far.
Did you say who was in it? Like anybody particular in it, or was it just a bunch of like no-name actors, actresses?
Oh God, I'm not too sure. I can't remember anyone big, but it's a lot of. I think this was like the big break for a lot of actors and actresses.
Yeah, because like A24, they work with like a lot of independent film directors, so I could see that.
Yeah,
and then Lady Bird, you said was on Netflix as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh shit! It's got a 99 on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that I like Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't really see a lot of that. There's a scene that just killed me, man. It was basically this dude coming out, and he hasn't come out to anyone, and he just breaks out hysterically into like I don't know what I'm gonna do, and it just like it hit so hard. Just the situations that they deal with in that movie are just executed so fantastically. I kind of like want to rewatch it at some point again, but I want to forget about it as much as possible. If out of all the things that I've seen on this list, like definitely go check out Lady Bird.
For sure. All right, moving on. Another A24 film.
Yep.
Good Time.
Good Time. That was a terrible time. It was.
It never fails that every time we do this, you have like 20 movies up here, and like 15 of them you love, and then the other 5 you just shit on.
No. Okay, let me finish that thought. Like, Good Time is a terrible movie in the sense that it is not a feel-good movie. It's like Uncut Gems. It's stress from beginning to end. Robert Pattinson and his brother, I forgot his name, Daniel Safdie or something like that. He's also the director of the movie. His brother is special needs, and Robert Pattinson gets him to help him with a bank robbery. The bank robbery goes terribly wrong, and his brother gets captured. And you're bringing the special needs person to jail, doesn't understand what's going on, and gets the shit beat out of him. He's brought to a hospital, and then from there, the movie is Robert Pattinson trying to figure out how to get his brother while evading capture himself. And it just, in this situation, he just keeps digging himself deeper and deeper into trouble. And it's a great movie. It's not something I would watch to relax at all.
Dang. So it's like a Batman prequel, since he's the new Batman.
Pretty much, yes. This is the fall before the rise.
Jesus Christ.
Whatever that new Batman is, they should just scrap every fucking idea they have and just make Robert Pattinson Terry McGinnis. Like,
Please.
Just make it Batman Beyond. Like, he would be a great Terry McGinnis.
Well, it depends. Like, do we know who the director is for that Batman movie? I don't know. I don't know anything. But so Good Time. You said it's a terrible time.
It's a great terrible.
We'll have
time.
a good time watching this terrible time.
Yeah. It's very suspenseful, very high stress.
It's gonna make me want to smoke a cigarette.
It probably will. If it doesn't smoke you first.
Oh my god. All right, and then this is on Netflix as well.
Yeah, they just put it on there too. So
Damn,
go check that out.
A24 is all over Netflix, except for this next film we're going to talk about, Hereditary, another A24 film. So Hereditary, we all saw it. Deals with a Graham family after their grandma's loss.
All right, I'm already impressed that you remembered any of these people's names.
He's reading a synopsis. Let's not.
I'm reading the notes I had wrote. So this family in Utah.
Wow. Detective Matt.
Detective. Hey, y'all been playing a lot of detective games? I am playing detective in real life now. So the Graham family, their grandma had just passed away, which then sparks them on a series of very strange and weird events. That being said, what did you think about the movie before we start going into it?
I loved it.
I didn't get it.
What didn't you get about it?
The ending. Like I didn't understand it at that point.
Can we just make this a spoiler cast?
Not yet. I mean, let's try not to. But because it's a great movie. Like, I feel like a lot of it is in the storytelling.
There's a lot of visual. That's what I love about A24 too.
Yeah,
it's a lot of visual storytelling. They're not going to hold your hand to it.
So the story, like, all the way to the end, the story building is a lot. Like, the person watching has to kind of just like piece everything together. Like John Wick, you don't know anything about what's going on, and like you just have to, the small little pieces that are shown throughout the movie.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like, John Wick, I think you have to like make a lot of that headcanon yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Piece it together that way. In this, I feel like it's more Easter eggs sprinkled throughout the movie that you don't really like understand are Easter eggs until the ending.
Yeah.
So it gives it a lot of like replay gives it a lot of rewatchability.
Except like some scenes I wish I could like get it out of my head.
Oh my god, dude.
The thing I like the most about it, different from scary movies, because like when you watch a scary movie, it's just like pop scares or something that's really gory. And don't get me wrong, Hereditary had a lot of gory things in it, but it was the sounds.
I don't even think I would classify this as a scary movie. Like, to me, that wasn't a. There was some creepy moments, yeah, and there was definitely a lot of gore, but I wouldn't call this a scary movie per se. Like,
I think you're wrong.
I think
I think you're stuck to the confines of what structurally is like a scary movie based off of like all the garbage that's come out in the past and how it has to be like a jump scare or a scary killer or anything like that. The scary parts of this movie deals with the inter-family relationships and the situations that you put your family members in and having to be like stuck in those traumatizing situations.
I don't know. I think I'd call it like a suspense thriller type of movie more so than like scary.
I could see that.
Unquote.
No. I would consider this like a contemporary scary movie. Like, why do the constructs of scary have to be revolved around like you yourself dying? Why can't it be exploring those moments that are extremely uncomfortable and, you know, having to visualize yourself in that experience?
I see what you are saying though, Braxton. Like the suspense thriller, because like the interpersonal like connections with because it was just the three family members the whole movie basically.
Yeah, basically.
And Joanne, but like it was suspense thriller because like you're seeing how these events are like affecting the family, and like ultimately it's like leading up to this kind of just like this grandma's like secret past or whatever. But like just like the use of sounds, like not even just like, you know, the little tick of the tongue that the daughter would make, but just like, oh my god,
I don't know. I feel like you guys enjoyed this a lot more than I did, which is fair. Whatever, everyone's different, but I will give the movie a compliment. The scene where the lady is in therapy. So the first day she goes to therapy and she's like pouring her heart out. Like, she acted the shit out of that.
Performances were so good.
Her name is Toni Collette.
Like I thought that was the best scene in the movie because it was like it was really good. And I think
a lot of those.
Was it all like I don't think it was one take, but like it was very minimal takes, I would say. It was really good and very convincing. I think really
it was one take.
Yeah.
If it was one take, that's even better. Like I thought that specific scene really stood out to me to being like really good.
Yeah.
Like along the same line of performances, the dinner table conversation between the son and her. Yeah. That was just like, I think that's what contemporary horror is, like, just sitting in that situation. Like, yeah, I guess you could put it more to like suspense and stuff, but if you're like a guest at that table at that time, would that not just be like the most terrifying thing to be a part of? For, like, the way that I think you have to look at it like you look at Get Out, where they consider like a societal horror. This is more of like a familial horror, if you want to like subgenre it like that. But like backtracking, what categorizes a horror movie for you then?
Well, I mean, I think I would categorize, maybe it's
or a good horror. Like what would you consider a good horror movie?
See, that's the problem. I don't really like the horror genre.
But is there like a horror movie?
If we think of like recently, I would say sure Get Out, but Get Out, I guess
it's like in that same realm of suspense.
I guess Get Out is a good horror, like if people consider it a horror movie, because at the end of the day, obviously it starts off, you know, at the peak, you know, everyone's doing well, and then eventually, you know, then it becomes like people are chasing him, people are capturing him, you know, surgery, potential like physical and mental like damage about to happen, and you know, there's some jumpy type scares that are in Get Out, so you know, it kind of keeps you on your toes. But with this one, you know, you kind of like, at least to me, like you're kind of following the story. obviously you can tell something's amiss with like most of the characters, and then eventually as the wife kind of goes down this little rabbit hole, things are like obviously wrong. But like, I don't know, I can't say I was ever like scared. Like, I remember there was one scene specifically where if they had hit me with a jump scare, I was completely prepared for it, but they didn't, because it's not that type of movie. But it was just really, like, to me, it was just really creepy, really unsettling. I didn't know what to expect. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I just can't classify it because I just don't know any better, but I don't know.
Everything you just said, I think, is what makes a horror movie a horror movie. Like, unsettling situations, uncomfortable situations, and kind of like the subversion of expectations.
Let's just say I was saying what the fuck a lot. We'll put it that way. I just said what the fuck in a lot of different scenes.
The middle part, that was my biggest what the fuck moment.
Like almost like the premonitions, the dreams, that part.
Oh, those no. The things that kind of set things in motion for the rest of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The party.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the party. Yep.
But like, I like how they kind of put you on that like little Easter egg hunt. They'll like give you little pieces, like, because it starts off, it's pretty mild. Like, hey, grandma's dead, y'all, and then everyone's just like, all right, and like life kind of just goes on, and like obviously little creepy things keep happening, and it kind of just like keeps opening up. Like, oh my god, like this is happening, because like there was nothing, I guess, new about like all the different scary parts. Like, it felt like a bunch of other, it's just like how everything was put together is what I enjoyed so much. And like what Rob was saying is like the way that like the family had conversations, like the dinner table conversation, and then the conversation with the, what was it, like the AA group, but for loss.
The grief
group.
counseling or something like that.
Yeah, grief counseling. But like the best part of the movie for me wasn't like the horror aspects of it, but it was kind of just like how that family kind of just like went insane, but all for different reasons. I mean, two of them for the same reason. I felt bad for the husband because like it was like the husband was watching it from the outside with us, and like still like thinking that everything in life was normal, kind of deal. I thought that was cool.
I don't know. I mean, with all the weird shit that was going on to eventually lead to that ending, like as soon as the credits rolled, I was like, "Is that it? I mean, are we done here? Or like really? I mean, I don't know."
You should watch Midsummer because it's like the same. The ending is like the same thing. It just leaves you in like it leaves you in a stupor of just like, what just happened. And it doesn't bother to like provide
it didn't
any closure in that sense. It's just the closure we leave you at face value. That's it. Make of it what you want with it. But this is how the story ends. And I don't think of it as like a fuck you at all by the director. It's just like it leaves you with a feeling of that unsettling feeling where it's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
And just like probably like try to like lead you into what the story that he was basing it off of or whatever, because PAIMON or something like that. I wonder what that is. I don't want to look into it because I don't want to see shit. I don't want to see, you know. But I give it a 2 thumbs up or 2 clicks.
I think it was like, if I had to grade it,
you can give it a bigger scale than 2 clicks.
Well, I'm gonna give it 3 dead birds out of 5. We'll go that way.
I had to close. I had to watch that through my fingers.
Oh my god! I know.
Yeah, well, we'll give it 3 dead birds out of 5. I mean, it was all right. Let's put it this way: I've seen worse horror films. I've seen way worse. Yeah. So, I mean, this one at least got my attention. I was like trying to, see where it was going. payoff was whatever, but like it wasn't terrible.
I don't think it was ever about the payoff in my eyes.
It's just the ride,
the journey it takes you on. Yeah.
Because I watched it by myself because Kay was out, and I watched it by myself. I closed all the blinds, kept looking behind me. I was freaking out, especially like I don't know. I don't want to give anything away, but old people and nudity is just not something I like.
Well, so that's where it got creepy for me, and that's like that part was like, if they threw a jump scare in right now, it would be the ultimate time to do so. That's what I was expecting.
That I feel like that was because for me that picture just sticks in my head. I just keep looking in the corner. I'm expecting to see just like a jolly old man.
Dick
yeah,
out.
I think the smile is more creepy than the nudity,
it was.
Honestly,
it was. The
For
smile.
me, that entire last act, like it touched upon the thing that creeps me out the most is the audience knowing that there's something in the background, but the person on screen has no idea.
Yeah.
And then it just like the way that the Strangers and like the Purge worked, where you just see someone kind of like walk across the room in the background, but then they elevate it with like supernatural stuff, and then that's where it's like, oh, okay, I'm getting goosebumps right now.
I love how they did the supernatural stuff. Like it wasn't like too cheesy or too corny.
Yeah. It was like just the right amount.
Exactly.
Like, they introduced it at a good time, and then it didn't let it linger too much.
Because like Braxton said, like it is a suspense and thriller movie. And like if you take the paranormal stuff out, I feel like it could still be a good suspense and thriller movie. Like this family is fucked up. You know, they don't care about the dad, the grandma dying, and other stuff after that. Like without the paranormal stuff, it was still like heart wrenching. This shit.
So what did we learn? Don't trust white people. All right, next topic.
Oh my god.
And peanut allergies they're horrible.
Okay, like just keep an EpiPen with you at all times.
Oh my god.
Lower the price of EpiPens.
Oh man. And I think that concludes. Any last thoughts on any last clicks? Any last anything?
Getting into spoiler territory now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Last thoughts, that entire scene, like at the 30-minute mark with the car ride home.
Oh my god.
That was the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. That was the most horrific part to me. And it's not even like that's what really got to me. It wasn't a killer that got involved. It was just a tragic accident gone wrong, and then the son being in complete denial. And
I know.
just avoiding it altogether.
Just like staying awake the whole night and just like waiting for that moment.
I honestly was not expecting that girl to die. Honestly, I did not expect her to die at all.
And then the transition to where you see Toni Collette crying in her room, and then the scene where the ants are all over the head
over
of
Peter.
Oh my!
Oh, yeah, that was gross.
Dude. Like that. How is that not like a terrifying moment?
It was just like the imagery, especially with the houses. Like the way that she built the houses, a lot of the filming was to make it look like you were looking at one of those house models she built.
The first pan shot was pretty cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I love what they do with that.
Because it puts in your mind like, ooh, is it like a bigger thing at play? But then like no, it's just like the shots,
like,
and
no,
the shots were pretty terrifying. Like, what was it when Peter wakes up from his coma? That whole school scene where he's smashing his head, that was very gory. That was like the way his eyes looked freaked me the fuck out. Where something was like choking him. It looked like he was being held by a noose and then being slammed on the table at the same time.
Well, I don't know why I thought of Death Note literally in the school.
No, 100%.
I was like, why am I thinking about Death Note at a time like this?
But like Peter, the dude that played Peter, he did a good job too.
It was like great performances all around, minus the dad.
I think the dad had a great performance too. But like,
I think
it was more.
He did.
low-key.
It wasn't as emotional. Like it was a great neutral dad, like trying to keep shit together.
No, yeah, exactly, and he did a good job playing because like it's just chaos between Peter and the mom. What else? Just Toni Collette's scene where she's first chilling on the roof, like that typical paranormal scene where someone's crawling on the roof, but then like
that freaked me the fuck.
Where she's in the attic, or they're in the attic, and then like Toni Collette's just fucking elevating the air and just stabbing herself in the neck, and then like
she wasn't stabbing it. She was she had like piano
like
wire around her neck.
It was like wire.
Oh
yeah, she was sawing
like the
her
wire
head
was like already. She was like decapitating herself with the wire.
Dude, just like what I'm saying with the sounds is because like there was the click, but then like with that sound, like they show her doing it, and then like it pans off into like another camera angle where you can't see it, but you still hear that going on. Oh my god, dude! Like just like those sounds, it killed me. Obviously,
oh no, I thought it was a great.
Yeah,
highly recommend putting it on during Christmas with your family.
Please do. Especially just like the last 10 minutes. That's all you need. You can ruin Christmas like that.
Yeah.
Hail Paimon. His name was Paimon, right? Or Pagan?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even remember any of those people's names.
No, that's the...
Come on, there's like 4 people in the movie.
That's 4 too many.
The satanic king of the 8th ring of hell.
You think I remembered all these people's names?
You know everybody in My Hero, but you can't remember there's 4 people.
Vaguely.
I hold that to myself a lot. That I like rewatching Naruto. I was like, oh, that's Shino and Ino and Shikamaru, and it's like, why can't I remember how to do my taxes?
Oh my god, what's the date? All right, we still got a couple days, y'all. Do your taxes,
Dude!
y'all.
I did mine today.
Oh my god!
I did mine.
So long.
We're just reminding the fans.
What's
to
the
stay
rush?
Fiscally responsible.
There's no rush. Who cares?
The IRS cares. That's who.
I mean,
no, they
obviously
don't.
not. They
get more
back.
money. They get more money if you don't do your taxes. I think.
Wait,
that is true.
Really? What?
Yeah.
If you don't pay your taxes, you just get fined.
Okay. All right. Thank you for participating in our Poop Your Pants segment of Cine Matthew. We'll have to make a new one. I know you saw it already, Matt, but I think that's next on my list. Have you guys seen The Witch yet?
Ooh, I have not
I've
seen The Witch yet.
Bits and pieces.
That's on Netflix too. We should watch that next.
I heard that one is actually like scary.
Yeah. Let's watch that one next.
Okay.
Also A24, by the way.
I know it is A24, so it's gonna have those weird. Oh my god! More old naked people, please no.
Please.
Yes. I think it's the opposite. I think it's young naked people.
Ooh.
Ew.
Ooh.
Yucky.
Oh god.
So let's move on into some
Chapter Black.
All right, this I finished like a month ago, but I'm gonna try to recollect all my thoughts on it. I finished Avatar: The Legend of Korra, as you can see in the dog because I can't spell. And I loved the way they ended this. This was everything that I want from like a Nickelodeon production in terms of just like bringing in a new perspective to like a new generation. And I like theorize things midway through the ending season, just like, man, if they just had the courage to do this, that would be great. And then they just fucking did it, and it was amazing. Like I my jaw was dropped at the last episode, and I was just like clapping. And I wasn't really like a huge fan of the last big bad in season 4, but the conclusion to it, and what was her name?
Is it? Oh God, I don't remember.
Oh, I thought you just said it.
No.
Oh, no. No. So here was that was Henry Rollins. That was season 3.
Oh, okay. I don't remember if season 4. It was.
Oh, what's her name?
Kuvira? No.
Kuvira. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her character was very. I thought it was a very well thought out character, and I like how it explored like militaristic totalitarianism, but I was just kind of like over the whole politics thing at that point. It was more interesting watching Korra like pave the way for the next generations of avatars and stuff like that. And then just that ending was everything. Like, just said screw all normal conventions of how a story should end, and let's just do it our way, and it was amazing.
Matt, Rob, you're the minority because I don't know why, for whatever reason, but the internet has a mixed opinion on Korra.
I thought it was pretty well, probably because it didn't follow that like fantastical journey that the last Airbender had, but I thought it was excellent as its own series. Like, even as a follow up to the last Airbender, Legend of Korra I thought it was great. Like, the character development was awesome, and the stakes, like, they always felt high. It kind of was getting drawn out to where it was like, gotta save the world, blah, blah, blah. But it always brought things back to like a relatable standpoint to where the stakes were like personal losses for the character and stuff like that. And I thought it was really well executed.
Yeah, I liked Korra. Korra's good. I haven't seen it in a
But
while,
I really just love the ending. Like, that ending was so good. So yeah, go watch it. I give it 3 tongue clicks.
Nice.
Out of 3 or 5?
Out of 2. That's how good it is.
Out of 2?
Out of 2, yeah. It's a 100% increase. No, it's 50% increase in click rating. So tell us more about your Shippuden journey, Matt. And I don't think you were on yet, Braxton, but Matt has eclipsed me. He finally got serious, and he's starting to skip filler now that he's gotten his fix off the crystal jutsu.
Yep.
The crystal jutsu users were just so bad that he had to go ahead and skip the rest of them.
Woo. Well, I have gotten a lot of natural chakra. I've tamed the 9 tails. Doing pretty good here. Shippuden's getting intense. I am in the Great Ninja War.
Shit, you fucking flew.
Yep.
Right?
Jesus.
I flew.
I need to go put it on like right after this.
I'm damn near finished with the series. I got like 100 episodes. Not 150, something like that. But,
fucking hell, dude. What? Last time we talked, you were on what? Pain versus Kakashi. That's where you were at.
Yeah, that whole Pain sequence. I really loved it, and I fell in love with it. Because that Pain sequence was really crazy. Just like, because Pain was like an anti-hero, so I liked that. So I just got super obsessed, and I just wanted to like keep going. Because Naruto finally started getting real strong. And then, like, now he has complete control of the 9 tails. The war's going on. He hasn't done anything in the war yet. A lot of the fucked up stuff has already happened in the war. All the reanimation.
I want to take a couple steps back. I don't think Pain was an anti-hero at all. Like, I think he was the hero of his own story, and he just had conflicting, like, moral principles with Naruto.
That's true. Because, like, when you think of anti-hero, they like, still contribute to the cause. Like, maybe Danzo's kind of anti-hero. What would you consider Danzo?
Yeah, no.
He's a dick.
Fits that.
He's a dick. For
Yeah,
sure, a dick. But that fight scene, like, because that was the only time Danzo ever fought. But super excited to see Naruto and Sasuke actually fight now when they can actually do stuff. It was kind of cool. It was like seeing Sasuke's journey and just like, really push that Avenger part of his personality out. But it's cool. Like the character development is getting pretty crazy. Sakura is still useless.
She regressed so hard.
Regressed.
She just became fucking nothing.
Because even like
she had such
Ino,
high hopes.
Even Ino killed it. Like that whole, I think it's Team 10. Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji. Yeah, well, like that whole Asuma fight scene was. I wish it was longer, but like, that was kind of heart wrenching too. The reanimation jutsu. I hate that jutsu, man.
Oh damn, you're like deep into the ninja war right now.
He's in there.
I'm in the war. Like a lot of shit has happened. White Zetsu's all over the place. Man.
Black Zetsu's matter too. Okay.
Kakashi's getting serious, showing emotion. He's like, I'm gonna use all the 1,000 styles I've copied, and then never see Kakashi.
Did you get to the guy fight yet?
No, he's not that. He's not that. Well,
okay, no, you would know. You would know immediately.
No, he's not there.
I just want to like
Guy
he's in
Kisame.
the early. He's in the early portions of the war, not the.
No.
He's in the portions of the war where it's daytime, not the ones where it's nighttime.
Oh yeah, it's getting into the nighttime parts now. Like literally, I'm where the Razekage and Tsunade are trying to stop Tails 8 and 9.
I don't want to like spoil anything, so I just want to ask you: have you seen the perfect reanimation jutsu yet? Like
No.
reanimation jutsu to where you don't see the cracks in there. They're not clay figures. It's a perfect reanimation. Have you seen the person that affects yet?
No.
No. Okay,
No.
that's fine. Yeah, shit's just kicking off.
Yeah.
Like, and when this was coming out live, like, dude, the entire Ninja War probably took like 2-3 years.
I know.
So like, you're so lucky that you get to experience it like all in one shot.
I know, because there's so much filler. There's so much random filler. They'll just like throw in old footage of like when Naruto was jealous of Sasuke because Sasuke was so
You'll
cool
see that
a
a lot.
I know. I skipped all.
All I remember is that when the Naruto Sasuke fight came out, like that was the only thing everyone that I knew was into anime was talking about, because they did it as a double feature for the full hour. And
Wait, shut up. What are you saying? Shut up.
Well, I'm just saying that that's something to look forward to.
No,
you can't spoil a fight, but
it's definitely like coming up. Like,
the build up to that fight and then the actual payoff for that whole hour is like, it was awesome.
Dude, I'm excited because Sasuke's got the perfect Sharingan now because he took his brother's eye. I love the whole backstory of just like I love Madara's backstory, even though like I'm still confused. I know, don't give anything away, but like I know that's not Madara, or maybe it is. I'm not sure though, but like because his mask broke, and then I'm like, you're and they keep calling him Toby. Everyone keeps calling him Toby, so I'm just like, he's got to be this other.
You'll see what happened. There's a lot more to unpack there.
I already have my theories.
Throw your theories in the garbage. You're not gonna.
Wait, but no, I want to hear your theory, since I mean it's not a spoiler for any of us because we've seen it.
Yeah,
but I do want to hear the theory.
I feel like it's Obito or whatever Uchiha in who Toby is, because like he only had one eye, and then when he was fighting Conan, she broke the mask off of him, and he was like missing part of his face. So I was like, this has got to be him.
Does Conan come back?
I don't think so.
I don't remember.
I think she did.
Wait, this was during the pain arc then?
No, this was after. This was
I think that's like immediately after the pain arc.
Because Madara or Toby or Akatsuki leader, he wanted the Rinnegan from what was his name?
Nagato.
Yeah, his dead body. Yeah.
Man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm probably by the next time we record, I'll be finished. I'll be like, oh, dude, Boruto is so dope.
And if it gets to that point, that's going to be the end of this podcast. If we ever acknowledge Boruto as a good show, that's it.
No, you talking about Boruto is us going right back to the crystal jutsu users again. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Dude, Boruto Shippuden? Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, that's awesome. I'm, like, delightfully surprised how much you've caught up to the series.
Yeah, I mean, I just got hooked in at certain parts. The Kage Summit was, like,
oh,
pretty dope.
Man, I remember when that came out. That shit was fucking fuego.
Yeah. And,
I
like...
think we talked about this, like, 2 episodes ago, because that's where I was.
But, man, I'm kind of mad that I didn't watch it sooner, but then, like, kind of like that I can watch him at this rate I'm watching it. Because, like, I could not imagine, like, for 3 years just thinking, like, oh, my God, like, what's going to happen at the end of this war?
It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is rough.
Yeah, it's all out there now.
Yeah.
I'm happy, like, it still holds up for you, because I don't know if watching it fresh now after, like, all my current experiences with previous shows, if it would still hold up the same. Because I think there is a level of nostalgia, because, like, I know I kind of grew up with, like, some of the characters and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of these new shows, even the ones, like, I like a lot, like Fire Force and stuff like that, it doesn't ring the same way as a lot of those old ones do. And I think the last huge experience where I've gotten, like, goosebumps and, like, super invested in the characters and it was just almost to the point of obsession with the series was Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
I can't really think of anything that elicits the same reaction. I'm close to finishing Tower of God, and that's pretty good, but I think I just need to, like, watch a full, like, a series. I don't like watching these things seasonally. Because
Naruto did not grow, essentially, throughout all of Naruto.
Yeah. He's kind of, well, a little bit.
He's
kept the same, like, personality, and it was just more of, like, a power fantasy growth kind of thing.
But just, like, kind of like how he approaches battle. Like, he's still, like, slower than, he's no Shikamaru, but, like, he's starting to, like, you know, become a dependable. He's not even a Genin yet, or I forgot the levels. What are the levels? Genin?
Yeah, he's a Genin.
He's still a Genin?
It's like... Yeah. What's the net? Genin, Jonin?
Shinobi.
No, Genin, Chunin, then Jonin.
Chunin, because the Chunin.
No, he's a Genin. He hasn't passed his Chunin exam yet.
Does he ever have to, like, do the Chunin? He fucking saved the whole hidden leaf, and he still has to do it.
Because, well, I won't spoil it, so I'll just go over the rules, but you can't become a Hokage until you reach Jonin, I think. You have to reach, like, either Chunin or Jonin to become a Hokage.
So ridiculous. If he wants to follow his dreams, he has to hit the books.
Bro, that's like putting Anderson Silva, like a prime Anderson Silva, with just a bunch of amateur. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, there's still, like, a test aspect to it. Like, a written test aspect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, Naruto. Get to the books, brother.
If only real life could follow the same qualifications as anime and fiction.
Well, we also have to deal with large snakes that would try to destroy our villages.
Imagine if you stopped, like, 5 robberies and that automatically made you, like, the governor or something like that.
Dude.
Like, you didn't even have to, like go through an election or anything. You're just like, oh, I stopped, like, 10 crimes. I'm the president now.
And you get paid to stop these crimes. Get paid by the town's Kage. Or the village's Kage.
You become a bounty hunter.
Cool.
What would be your cool bounty hunter name?
Spike Spiegel.
Damn. I don't know. Thick Philly boy.
Philly.
All
Oh
right.
man,
All
strikes
right.
fear in
All
all of the
right.
bounties.
I don't
Alright.
know. I don't know.
And then moving on to the last bit, Braxton, what are your initial thoughts on God of High School?
So far so good. There's only 2 episodes now, I think. Yeah, 2 episodes. And actually no, I think there was only 1 episode when I watched it. There might be 2 now because it's the weekend. I came in expecting it to be, a kind of a 2D Kengan Ashura, Baki type of fighting anime. There's actually a lot more comedy in this anime than I was expecting. There's a lot of it's not really taking itself seriously at all. The first episode, you're introduced to the main fighters. So I don't remember any of their names, but one specializes in punches, so I just call him One Punch Man. The other one specializes in kicks, so I call him Sanji. And then the girl is a sword fighter, so she uses kendo, so I just call her female Zoro. And that's the main team. And so the first episode is all of them kind of meeting each other, and they meet each other because the guy who Sanji is he's late to the Tower of God is a meeting of all the high school people, and you have to get an invite to go to it. And so he's late, and so he takes his bike out to run to the stadium.
Wait, you mean God of High School?
Yeah, God of High School, that's what I meant. And so he takes his bike to get to the stadium because he's late, but he's so strong with his feet that he can out-pedal motorcycles and cars and stuff like that, because then it winds up with him chasing down a robber on a motorcycle, but he can basically catch up to him on his bike because he's really strong at kicking. And it just gets kind of more ridiculous from there because he crashes into someone at Mach 1 speed, and they don't take any physical damage at all. And people are flying into, when they're actually fighting in the stadium, it's Dragon Ball Z impacts of punches and kicks and stuff, and people are just kind of walking it off almost nothing happens. So it's pretty the premise is interesting, and there's enough comedy in there to shake things up, but I think the only thing I don't like about the pilot is that the intro is most of the pilot. The intro does all the fight scenes that are in the pilot, so it's you're watching it twice, which I don't like. And I also don't like that the intro is dubstep. I hate dubstep. That's just a personal preference. But I thought it was interesting. I'll see how the next couple of episodes go, but the way the tournament works is everyone has an armband that monitors their health, and so everyone's kind of watching that as the meter of what your level is, what your health is, and people are trying to pick each other off right now with fights. And then obviously there's a lot of fighting styles incorporated. There was some girl did a fucking stone cold stunner on one dude for whatever reason, and other guys are good at kendo and stuff like that. And I guess they just threw in a asylum person who was in prison to shake things up and beat up on the contestants. So now that's the big bad guy that they're fighting for episode 2.
A high school student in prison.
I don't even know if he's a high school student. He's just a dude in a straight. He's a dude in a straight jacket who's kicking the shit out of all these other high school competitors.
So they just. What does that say there? They just made the dude with mental illness the villain.
Well, I mean, he seems pretty. I think he's just in prison because he's a terrible person. But they're oh, it's a battle royale, and things are really shaking up. And then the people who are in charge of the tower or the high school or competition are all right, well, that's enough people who are getting knocked out now. Now throw in the ringer, and then they just have this dude in a straitjacket walk out there. And he's oh man, why'd you guys pull me out of my prison? I was having more fun in there. This competition's boring. And he just starts kicking the shit out of people.
Jesus.
Why are they fighting in the
Christ.
first place?
I don't know yet.
And you said it's 3 teams of 3 battle royale.
No, there's no teams. It's just
there's no
the main
teams?
cast. No, it's the main cast though.
Okay.
They're just hanging out with each other because they met beforehand, and now they're helping each other out. I don't know if it's going to be long-standing or temporary, but that's just the 3 that we met initially. But yeah, I have no idea why they're fighting right now. I think it's just a annual competition that happens that shows off the best fighters in the region. And there's some backstory with like the main character, Sanji, because apparently he knows one of the tournament owners, and he got to fight him one year. But we don't know anything more about that. He just mentions it that he wants a rematch. So I don't know.
And you said the fight scenes are pretty cool. They're pretty dope.
Well, it's the pilot, so I don't know if they're gonna keep that level of animation for the whole thing, or if it's just like a "Hey, watch our show, check this shit out" type of thing.
For sure.
I really hope it continues, but I'm afraid that might be where it goes.
All the money's just in the first episode.
Yeah, I hope not, but it's been done before.
One Punch Man season 2.
Rip.
All right, yeah, I'm looking forward to starting that one. I just need to fucking buckle down and like close out some shows. Oh, I have one more thing. I started reading Rurouni Kenshin again.
Oh fuck!
That is a very historical background intensive manga. Like they throw in a lot of old school, like political strife and history in there, from moving from like the Bakumatsu era, which is when like the shogunate controlled everything, as opposed to the Meiji era, where there's a lot more like democratic perspective. And where Kenshin fit on that was that he was like he was a samurai hired by the government to help overthrow the shogunate. So like you have more of a democracy in Japan at the time. It's really good. The drawings are so good. That guy's a fuck, but that's why I'm not reading this through any legal means, because I do not want to support that guy. And if you need to know what happened, like go look it up. It's related to everything that went on with Evo, essentially, without any like gross actions or anything like that, but still a lot of no-nos. But yeah, I just wish that they did like a full adaptation of the manga versus whatever the fuck they did with the current anime, because everything after the Shishio arc is basically garbage. So yeah,
I can't say
I'm gonna go rewatch the anime.
I can't say I've seen the entire anime, honestly. I've probably seen a couple episodes here and there.
Just after the Kyoto arc is all you like. Just end it after the Kyoto arc, and then go watch Samurai X, which is the OVA of that show. But yeah, it's really good, and it makes me feel old, because like some people will be putting up like Rurouni Kenshin gifs on Twitter and stuff, and then people are commenting like, "Oh, what anime is that?" And it's just like, "Did you not grow up with Toonami? What's wrong with you?"
Robert, your boomer is showing now.
Yeah, I realize. So, with that, let's get wrecked. And what I have to share this month,
Nice.
is why Beck rocked, and it is it's a video analysis on Beck as not only the anime but the manga, and how they conceptualized like creating a rock band story on manga, and like getting that to video, because you can like write all the lyrics and all the crowd appreciation in the manga, and like, oh my god, this is the best song ever, but then when it comes to putting it outside of a visual perspective, like the steps necessary to do that, and it was just so well executed. And I watched the dub. I thought the dub was very serviceable, but the sub is where they say like it really shines. So I kind of want to revisit it that way. But the way they close out the anime series is basically they like kind of pick parts here and there from the manga, because the manga is actually like 33 or 32 volumes long or something like that. So they don't cover all of it, but it's still a really good show. I've talked about Beck before, and I kind of wanted to just get a little bit more background on where the manga was and how they did conceptualize creating a band off of a fictional story. And I just thought it was so well done.
Cool.
And then to close things out, Matt, you are sharing Kenny Beats and Zach Fox, The Cave.
Yeah. So earlier, Braxton, you said that this has been on Twitter recently, Zach Fox.
Yeah, because he got banned from Twitter a while ago.
For this particular song, or just like...
No. He was banned. I don't know why he was banned.
Oh, okay.
I just heard his name around getting banned, and then Thundercat was like celebrating him being back on Twitter. So
that's so funny. So Kenny Beats is a popular music producer. Produces a lot of hip hop beats, and he has a show on YouTube called The Cave. And then the premise, basically, he'll have a rapper, singer, whatever. He'll make a beat for them, and then they'll either freestyle or write something. And then he had Zach Fox on the show. I think they're pretty good friends because, like, I think he goes with him on tour sometimes. Zach Fox is a comedian. This was a creation of that one song called Jesus is the One, open parentheses, I've got depression, close parentheses. It's a pretty funny song. I would go check it out. I was laughing throughout this whole video, but it's kind of cool. Like, I love the concept of The Cave in general, so you should just go ahead. Like, they have a bunch of different rappers, Denzel Curry, Earth Gang. He had randomly Mark Ribier on it. And
yeah, I was gonna mention I did see clips of that.
That one was pretty insane because, like, usually Kenny Beats makes the beat, and like they kind of collabed on something together, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's a pretty cool show. Like, Kenny Beats will make them and basically every rapper, all the rappers have been on it. Vince Staples has been on it. Who else? I can't think of other names, but check it out.
Cool. I don't have a rec this week. I just got an email that my taxes were successfully submitted. So, well, honestly, I was going to say go do your taxes is my rep. But by the time we release this, it'll already be too late for you to submit your taxes. So,
did you use TurboTax?
I did. It was cheaper than H&R Block. I usually do 2 sets of taxes at the same time and see which one gives me more money or loses me less money. And TurboTax wins again. Congrats.
That's your rec. TurboTax.
It's not a paid sponsorship.
Inuit.
Yeah, no. No, that's not a very sexy sponsorship.
Hey, we can get a lot of money from TurboTax. Do your taxes, y'all. Watch Hereditary.
It pays the bills.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have a rec. I've just been in my hole working and fucking playing games and then getting up to work again.
Probably sweating because it's hot as hell.
It is hot as hell. Buy sunscreen. There we go. If you go outside, that's my recommendation. Use sunscreen. I don't use sunscreen really ever because I don't go outside. But if you do go outside, you should use it. Dude,
I got sunburned because I was kayaking. I was kayaking for 3 hours, though. That's why I got sunburned. You know. But sunburn sucks, man. That's like the second time in my life I've been sunburned. Hurts.
Yeah. The sun hits different out here. So, like, I feel like I get sunburned once if I don't acclimate after the winter. You know what I mean? There's, like, sun over here in the winter, but it doesn't beat down as hard as it does in the summer. So I always end up with, like, a Neapolitan tan because, like, my arms get super dark.
and
then I have the farmer's tan, so, like, my shoulders are, like, slightly lighter, but then, like, I'll have the tank top tan, and then it'll go from, like, you know, chocolate to strawberry to vanilla.
I can
kind of like the different stages of Sammy Sosa.
What's he at now?
Clear.
So clear?
See through?
Yeah, diet ice cream.
Oh
Just
my
ice.
god. Damn, it is a hot one. It's hot out here in the Midwest. I don't know if it's as humid as it is up here, but man, I've been getting bit up. I got bit by a bug, and then like this bump raised up on my arm, and it was like a lighter color than my skin. I was like, what the hell? I felt like Coyote Peterson or something like that. Have you guys seen any Coyote Peterson?
No.
Oh my god. Do you know who he is though?
No.
Oh my god.
Is that
That should have been my Coyote Peterson is this really dumb dude. Like, and by dumb it's because like what he chooses to do as profession, he gets bit by all these like crazy bugs and animals in general.
Is he the entomologist that has the pain scale for bug bites?
Yeah, and like he always talks about the bullet ant. Like every time he gets bit by something.
Yes, I do know who that guy is.
Okay, yeah, his
Oh,
name's Coyote
Lord.
Peterson.
That dude's wild. He's a masochist.
Dude, he is. Hey, I'm Coyote Peterson. I'm gonna let this giant millipede that crawled up our camp bite me. All right, film crew, dude. The millipede that bit him, it like grabbed his arm and brought it up and then bit him. It was disgusting. And the whole time he was just yelling. He's just like, worse than the bullet ant. Worse than the bullet ant.
Wait, millipede or centipede?
It was like a desert millipede, dude. It was like this long, and probably just, dude. It looked like a little snake.
Please share that video. Please share that video.
Oh, you want to see it?
I love bug stuff.
Oh,
I don't want to be within the vicinity, but like I love bug documentaries. I knew about the Nat Geo had like a documentary on the Japanese giant wasp like over a decade ago, and it's finally like getting
Dude.
popular. I've lived with that fear for years now, and people are just getting caught up to speed.
Well, because there's a couple in the United States. The killer wasps?
yeah,
Oh my god. Coyote Peterson got
Yeah,
bit
it's
by
not
one of
a-
those, and he said that
dude.
the bullet ant was worse.
It's worse in pain, but the venom from a Japanese hornet will melt your skin.
Yeah. Well, because they don't just attack by themselves. They attack in like a whole like army of them. Big ass hornets just killing
my
you.
God, they're like the size of your thumb.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Braxton, have you seen these things? They like it's called what is it called, Rob? Japanese killer hornet.
just
The
a
killer
Japanese
hornet.
wasp.
Killer hornet.
I don't like bugs.
Dude,
They're all gross.
but the Japanese killer hornet looks like a Power Rangers villain. It's like super blocky. Dude, it's you don't want to. If you see that, run. That's what they say. If you see this hornet, just run. Don't hit it. Don't do anything. Just run.
But like run indoors because it can fly faster than the human can run. Than an average human can run.
Yeah, because if you mess with a swarm of those, they're just like, hey, fuck, and then you're just melted. Look like that body from Hannibal that Rob was explaining earlier. Dude. What else did he get bit by? He got bit by everything. There's like literally 60 videos of him screaming. There's probably like 100 hours of
imagine
Coyote
he's
Peterson.
getting bit by.
Ah! 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 Ah!
How can you like willingly get bit by like let's say like a black widow? Does he get immediate medical attention after? Because I know a lot of the times he does this is so he can like write out a description on of pain and like symptoms. But when you get bit by something deadly, like what do? You just like wait till you're on the brink of death, and it's like okay, I tap, go get the go get the ambulance.
That's exactly what he does. That's what he did. He didn't do it for any of them, but the millipede, centipede, whatever. Because like once that bit him, he's like, okay, I can't take this. Like my heart is like racing too fast, so he called the medic for that. But like he just goes through it. He just goes through it, so he can explain to you like what's going on. Sometimes his arm just swells to like 4 times the size, like the whole arm, for one bug bite, which is insane, dude. And the bugs are like nothing but like this big. The centipede was this big, but the Japanese hornet, it's only like this big. But that's huge. Like, I couldn't imagine seeing something like that fly by me.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Gross.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Wear your sunscreen. Get that deep woods bug spray on, and stay hydrated. It's hot out there.
It's hot out here.
And yeah, thanks again for joining and listening to us for 30 episodes. Like, God bless you. I don't know how you found this. There's a million other podcasts out there, but thanks for sticking around. Really, really appreciate it, especially if you're listening up until this point. If you're new, how? And yeah, go share this. That's the biggest thing that you can do for us. We're not doing this for money, just go spread this word of mouth. You find us out on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. What's iTunes? And if you want to hit us up, you can hit us up at NeatBoysPodcast@gmail.com, or just hit us up in the Twitter DMs with preferably no nudity, only feet pics. Yeah, that's about it. Braxton, can you sign off on the feet pics?
I mean, I'll look at them. I'll share them. I will disseminate any feet pic we get with the group for our rating scale.
All right, yeah. Okay, hit us up on Twitter with the feet pics, and we'll tweet them out there anonymously. Just would like to be anonymous.
But if they're not good, we'll block you immediately.
No, we'll just rate it. Just rate it bad.
Well, that's the punishment. If you get a bad rating, you're blocked.
The Twitter has spoken. Thanks for joining, everyone.